back, everybody. So today we're going to have the next tasting of my Azacca Smash Beer. What is a Smash Beer? Single malt, single hop. So this one is using Great Western 2-row malt and Azacca hops. Now, I've talked about this a little bit before in some of my other videos, so if you're new here, I would go back and watch this playlist and just see some of the old stuff, because we're really going to talk about some of those videos in this one. So I had a couple people mention it would be good to age some of these a year and see what a homebrew would taste like after a year. And at that time I was like, there's no way. Now, this is one of the first ones that I made, and when I was making them up front, or the first part of 2019, I was doing like 7 bottles. And I have so many homebrews that I can't get to them once a month. And so some of these have fallen behind because I keep a running tally and just keep going down, and then once I get done with a whole bunch of new ones, I throw in an old one and keep going. Well, this one, let's get into the grain bill, then we'll come back to that. So this grain bill, one of the first ones, 2 pounds 12 ounces of that Great Western malt. For the hops, this is a 1.25 gallon batch going into the carboy. 1 hour boil, 0.39 ounces at 30 minutes, 0.29 ounces at 5 minutes. Then dry hop 3 days into fermentation, 0.32 ounces. Now this one was bottled on 4/27, so this is actually 13 months and 1 day old. Now what I'll do, just to be funny, this is what I looked like a year ago from today. There you go. I don't know what it is because I'll have to cut it into the video. I know my beard has changed, but that's what it looked like 1 year ago and 1 day. So this one did come in at 6.71%. And I believe going into this, when we first started these, I believe I took a 5-gallon Smash Beer and cut it down. And by doing that, that's where I got the 2 pounds 12 ounces of grain. Now, I do know going forward, some of these ABVs just went up like 7%, 8%, 9% using 2 pounds 12 ounces of grain. And we have cut those back. We've tried 2 pounds, 2.25, 2.5. But yeah, this was one of the first ones. I guess the only thing that really kind of hasn't changed, because I tried to keep the IBUs at the same level, is that 0.39, 0.29, then 0.32 ounces to make an ounce, because I wanted an ounce in all of them, at least an ounce. And I thought, to be fair, if we did Smash Beers and tested or did like side-by-sides, I wanted them to have the same amount of hops. Like the alpha acids could go up and down, but just to see what that hop would do to a beer in a ounce quantity, that's why I did that. So enough talking, let's go ahead and get this open. I could have another one of these. I don't know, we could go 14 months on this. Good hiss, good smoke still coming out. Lots of bubbles are rising, so I'm going to go ahead and get it in here. I think that was a big chunk. Could be wrong. Now, hopefully that doesn't go over. I will keep the end. I do bottle directly out of the fermenter, so especially when I'm getting down to these, because usually when I fill them, I do line them up on here, and the last one is always over here. So that way when I put them away for 30 days, that last one goes to the back, and that's how I kind of judge, okay, that's the last one. This is going to have the most trub in it. But I actually have had this in the fridge for probably a month because usually I preload into the fridge what I'm going to do, and I don't remember if I have any more, but from the looks of it, there might be one more, so yeah, we could go 14, 15 months on this. Um, Obviously, we are overcarbed a little bit. This is using the 2-gallon Mr. Beer fermenter, the plastic one, the keg style one. Um, Back then I was using the Cooper's big carbonation tablets, and also because I bought the a box of the bottles, you also got the Mr. Beer carbonation tablets. Now, because Cooper's, I believe, does own Mr. Beer, that they are the same, just packaged differently. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that's it. So we do have an off-white colored head, small and medium bubbles. We are starting to get some peaks in there. About a finger and a half of head. Color. Orange in color, kind of hazy. Uh, I would say that's more than chill haze on there, which is kind of weird, but maybe the Great Western Malt is a little hazier. We should be at a 2.1 SRM. We're probably more of a 4, if I had to guess. Lots of carbonation bubbles coming up there. A couple things floating around, but not very many for the amount of carbonation we had in there. Let's go ahead and smell. Smells like a big winter double IPA. Like that sweet, syrupy malt smells like it should be a Christmas beer. It's like the start of a Christmas beer. Like, I would think this is probably a 10-11% ABV beer. That's how big that malt is coming out. I would say there's some citrus in there. Like citrus bitterness. I've smelt that somewhere before. I think it's just that big syrupy maltiness that I'm picking up. Um, there's like a Christmas IPA, and I can't put my finger on it, but that's what that smells like, with just some citrus that shouldn't be there. That's my brain's thinking, okay, Christmas beer, get rid of that citrus. But for a beer like this, that's over a year old, it probably smells like it should. If anything, I'm not sure why we're still getting that citrus after a year. Izako that I used was 11.7%. So it's high, but it's not high. I thought that would have faded by now, but it's still in there. Let's go ahead and taste and see what we get. What is it like? It's like a triple IPA. Very syrup, malty, like you would find in a big double, triple IPA. There's bitterness on the back end that kind of help balance that out. Um, it doesn't do a good job because that malty, syrupy is still there. But there is enough bitterness along with maybe a touch of citrus to help calm it down just a little bit. It tastes like a triple IPA that not enough hops were used. If this was fresh, I've had that taste before. That And I don't know if it was on an older IPA, like double, triple IPA, or what, but if anything, that bitterness is still there. It almost stops that sweetness, that sweet syrup maltiness in the back. But it's like, I mean, I can actually taste some of the alcohol, and I would think this is 10, 11% ABV. That's how big that malty taste is. Would this be one that I would age for over a year? No, because you're not really getting that Azacca. I feel that the last couple times I've done this, it's more been like a peach, like a older peach or peach rind, or the outside of a peach. And yeah, this one is more of a triple IPA now, but definitely good. And hey, if we have another one, we will keep it going. But if you're into those big multi beers and you want to put one of these away for a year, I think you'll like it. But I hope you're a big multi person. You like that style of beer. And if you are, good. If not, drink this fresh. So if you enjoyed this video, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.